Thanks so much for being here today. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. It's all about the experience. I want you to experience what our kids experience here at Esports. So I'm going to have a short presentation on the inside, but with no further ado, I'm going to ask our Borough President to do our review counting. First of all, how many creations? So how
we abide by the rules here.
Are they personal?
Listen,
I abide by the rules of the DOE. Nobody's like
This is the size of area my makeup.
it was me, but it's pretty.
hopefully it works.
I think it will. If not, we would have been.
Are we gonna do a countdown?
3, 2, 1.
Yay! Come on in.
Next time you come to the book.
So again, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Esports. So this is what we're calling the Future Ready Lab. So if you're familiar with Future Ready NYC, and that work is being done to bridge what students experience in traditional classrooms with career and technical experiences. We created a pathway for our high school kids to get into college with a very clear purpose. And even if they're not going to college, have a very clear purpose of where they will be doing next. In 2023, my argument was like, high school's a little too late. We should start in middle schools. Because in middle schools, our kids are wide open, and if you plant the seeds in them early enough, they start to envision their futures. You know, you get to high school, and all of a sudden, regions and everything else, and hormones and girlfriends and boyfriends, and they tend to be off track. How do I know this? I was high school principal. And one of the things that used to really break my heart was seeing a 12th grader still try to pass the algebra regions. Seeing a 12th grader saying, this is my last chance, because I don't want to have what amounts to a local diploma. So when I returned to the middle school space, I was like, my mission is going to be to make sure kids are high school ready, but not only high school ready, but with experiences that can really help guide their path. So our theme here at University 224 is really around digital communications. But so our kids might not want to be in content creation, photography, or filmmaking. They might want to do everything else. But think about this. Name one profession right now that's not connected to some kind of media content creation. All of them. Okay? I'm not saying this is me. You picture this. You have a rash. What are most of us do? Take a picture of it together. You go on YouTube. And you find out on YouTube says you've been to the hospital. Okay. Probably not the best way to address any kind of elements, but we're so connected to digital media. So here, we said we're going to create a space where our kids are going to be engaging in a multitude of experiences. Everything from AI exploration to podcast production, photography and digital media, and of course, gaming and esports. Some of you might be like, esports really? But let me tell you something. Every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., we have about 30 students in this room. We don't start till 8 o'clock. They're here. And there's a cutoff time of 7:15. And they get here, they're having a good time. This is the most amazing thing about that is they're in school. That these young men don't give you issues, they're focused, and young ladies as well. So we're using esports as a way to connect to our students, but also the room is a combination of 6, 7, and 8 graders. There are no problems, they're not fighting, they're not arguing, they're building community. Our young ladies, our MSK group, on Fridays, they use the room because they love movies. The number of times I've come in here, pop my head in and see them crying because, oh no, we go out, get out of here. But again, we've raised this for all of our students to gain some capacity. So this morning, what's going to happen is, shortly after 2 videos I'm going to show you, we're going to break up. If you have, I think you've been designated. Some of you are going to be up here, and the rest of you are going to go downstairs. We started our holding space downstairs in our other design lab. That was our first space that we built up. That's a full recording studio. That's where you go. That's a full recording studio. Our kids are creating their own beats, they're writing their own songs. As a matter of fact, we have two groups of students who are working on an album right now. Okay? But again, someone might say, hey, how does that connect to what's happening in the classroom? If you're writing a song, what content area are you tapping into? Either reading, you know, if you, our Wu-Tang fans, you are a Wu-Tang fan, right? Wu-Tang fans, you know, how much of the music tied into science and social justice, things of that nature. So we're asking our kids to tap into those skills that they're learning in the classroom as well. So it's going to be downstairs, it's going to be about 45 minutes, and then we're going to swap. And the best part about this today, the kids themselves are going to be walking you through what they do. Okay, I can talk about this all day long. Those of you who know me know this is my jam, you know, but it's so impressive what the kids have said. Let me show you how to use this camera. Okay. One thing I want to share with you is very important. We have a photo station set up back there, so anyone here who wants a portrait taken, you can take your yearbook picture. Why is that important? 2 years ago, I said to myself, we're going to get to a point where we're not hiring vendors to come in to build the pictures for us anymore. The kids are going to take the pictures. So this year's yearbook, every picture, the graduating class, the class pictures were all taken by students. 67 vendors. Using professional equipment, you know, they understand ISO, shutter speed, they understand f-stops. You know, think about it. So now, when our kids decide to grow up, not decide when they go to high school, and they want to make that decision, they're going to make powerful decisions of what they're going to do next. Because we've given them the seeds of the possibilities of their future. So, first, I'm going to share with you a people for a documentary that we're working with Gentleman Elias and some of our students. So this is a quick preview, and when this is completed, I'm going to share it with the world.
The thing I like the most about teaching here is the relationship with the students. That's the main thing. Of course, when you're teaching, there is friction. You're trying to get them to do things that they might not want in that sense. Your family might drive you crazy, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't trade them for anybody.
Morning arrives in the South Bronx the way it always has. Loud, alive, and full of movement. Trains rumble overhead, storefronts open. Students make their way to school carrying backpacks filled with possibility. But not long ago, people looked at this building and saw something very different. They saw a school that was struggling.
The biggest changes I've experienced was I used to walk in the building, my stomach used to turn. I even had a kid tell me she was going to beat me up.
That its best days were behind it. But inside these walls, there were people who refused to accept the ending.
You know, back in the day, it was just about, you know, classroom management and keeping students under control. But right now, teachers are really teaching, students are really learning.
The reality.
Something that happens overnight. It's in your relationship with those students and, you know, how you interact with them on a daily basis, showing them maybe there's like a, you know, different way to be, different way to live, stuff like that.
2 years ago, exploration and discovery faced enormous challenges.
To yourself, this school ain't ish, and I don't know why it's still open. That was me as the first time. It wasn't even like welcome. Oh my God, we're glad to have you. It was 100% negative.
Students were being underestimated before they even had a chance to succeed.
Things like about the school being bad and things like that, but I didn't really care. I just wanted to see it for myself. And that's when I realized the school really changed.
For many, it became easier to focus on what the school lacked instead of what it still had. Potential, talent, young people searching for direction.
And we'll show more video, and after that, I'm going to ask our board president to speak to us. This is from one of our most crucial partners, has been in Pencil. So if you know Pencil, I have a hard time describing what Pencil does because it's so much. But I would say the word open. Opening minds, hearts, helping the students see the possibilities beyond just the basic. And this was a Pencil partnership school years ago before I got here. It was funny because when I first got here, I've been partnering with Pencil over the last 2 schools that I'm principal at. I remember calling Rick Dale and I said, hey, I have a new school. He said, what's the school? And he's like, that sounds familiar. And he went through the logs of history and said, wait a minute, that was a school that we had a partnership because it just was chaotic, it just wasn't working. And so I asked Greg to speak this morning, and he was like, listen, his daughter's graduation. Cousin. And known in the Carolinas. So he sent the video, but before that, I'd like to ask, she's the president of Pencil.
And as Uche said, we have a long-standing history with this school, and we're really excited to be partnering with Uche under his leadership because, as we all can see, the amazing things that he's done. But for those of you that don't know Pencil, we're a 31-year-old nonprofit that has been connecting students to success across the 5 boroughs for many years. We established partnerships between the business community and schools and students to make sure that young people get access to 3 things: relationships, skills, and opportunities. We believe when you create equitable access to those 3 things, young people can really fulfill the infinity of possibility that's before them. And I think that that's really represented and demonstrated here at 224 now with what Uche has done. Everything that we bring of the potential partnership, let's pilot our new AI program, let's try new things. Uche's always willing, open, and excited, and also gives us really great feedback on what works for students and what doesn't, and how we can be better. So we really enjoy our partnership with him, and I hope that our day together is really inspiring for everyone here. So thank you.
Uche, it's Greg. Really got to apologize, my friend. I was really hoping to be there on Friday as you dedicate this new room and this wonderful set of experiences your students are going to continue to have. I, unfortunately, am a moron, and I have to be at my niece's college graduation down in North Carolina, and will be out of state. But I could not let this moment pass without a little reflection for you. It is hard for me to believe Pencil has been partnered with MS 224 up in the Bronx for years, predating my arrival at Pencil 12 years ago. It was Weil Gottschall, one of our long-term law partners that was partnered with the school for years before the school really hit some hard times. Lots of leadership transitions, really hard to maintain the partnership and the relationship. And I can't tell you, when Weil had to step away from the school, it was just a short while later that you found your way there as principal all the way back in 2023. That is crazy, my friend. But you called me up. And I wandered up there, I think it was May 8th, about a week after you arrived, and I was your Pencil principal for a day. There was nowhere else in the city I wanted to be that day, and you walked me around, and you did 2 things. You showed me the joy and enthusiasm that every one of those kids had. We went out back onto the playground. You let me play a little bit of kickball, a little bit of basketball. You took me to the cafeteria. You introduced me to the folks that were making all the food. But more importantly, you took me back to your office and you shut the door. And you talked about the vision that you had for that middle school. And obviously, with all your high school experience, you knew what it took to get kids ready for what came next on their educational journey and to begin to put them on a path that was going to lead to their future success. At the same time, the Future Ready work in New York City was just getting started. We were working closely with the Office of Student Pathways that was leading that work. And as you articulated your vision, what I heard you saying is that you needed to make sure the kids were getting good advisement. And you need to let them know what was ahead of them and what they needed to do to get ready. You wanted to make sure that their classes were engaging and connected to their real world experiences. That career connected instruction was going to be really important to you. They weren't quite ready to work, but you wanted to make sure they had some hands-on experiences and got them out exploring and discovering what was really in their community and what their futures could look like. You shortened the school's name to Exploration and Discovery. I think you made some fake money along the way so kids could earn credits and begin to think about financial literacy, and certainly that early Regents work where you had some confidence in what your kids could do and beginning to get some of those early Regents out of the way while kids were still in middle school, set them up for success. But I've been coming to your school for 3 years. And it is crazy to me to see the transformation that's happened in that time. I know if I said it was all about you, you would tell me it was crazy. You've had your team, your teachers, the custodians, the counselors, members of the community, the work that Rick True did when he came to see you and help find support for the room that you're dedicating this Friday, and the equipment that's downstairs in that wonderful social media room where kids are doing audio and video in real time. You've had gatherings in your auditorium where you've brought down leadership from the city and from your district. Superintendent Padilla has been an important part of the work you're doing there. Uche, I'm really sorry I can't be there on Friday when you're dedicating this space, because I think more than just representing how far you have come and how far MS 224 Exploration and Discovery has come, it's really about a vision of what the future looks like. And for you to continue to provide opportunities for students in the Bronx, where my family is originally from, at the middle school level, it is really about making sure that we can get kids those real world experiences and focus them on the present and what they're doing right now and what contributions they can make so that they're ready to continue to navigate a changing future that none of us can really predict. So I know you've always told me you appreciate what we've done for you up there. My friend, we appreciate what you and your team have done for the young people in your care. And I hope you have a great day on Friday. I hope you can really pull it together and continue to do what you're doing, because I know as the new graduation measures come down, New York Inspires, that portrait of a graduate, you are representing as early as 6th and 7th and 8th grade what we need to do to set a solid foundation in middle school, to set kids on their way and make sure that they have an opportunity to find success. If Pencil can be a part of help connecting them to success, I know Jessica's there today, Pencil's president, hopefully making sure that we can continue this partnership well into the future. Again, sorry I couldn't be there. I hope you have a great celebration and look forward to continuing to work with you well into the future. Love you, my friend. Talk to you soon.
So first, can we just give it up for Principal Uche? We love you. Here at Exploration and Discovery at MS 224 in District 7. I want to acknowledge a friend and a great leader, our superintendent of all District 7 schools here in the South Bronx, Superintendent Dr. Roberta. Teachers and the family at 224. This is an incredible and exciting time to be here. And of course, I want to acknowledge the team at Pencil. Thank you, Jessica, and thank you to Greg. This 3-year partnership has produced so much for the scholars of 224. I first have to acknowledge the graduating class of 2026, because we are all in the season of graduations. And I'm really excited for our students who are excelling, who are critical thinkers, who are already leaders of today. Not tomorrow, but today. And when you think about this Future Ready learning lab that's right here and what it comes with, like you can rap, you can do a podcast, you can look at content creation. You know, AI is here and we have to embrace it. It is an emerging industry that is creating a lot of jobs, and we want young people to be ready for it. Because I often say, Superintendent, you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And if we stay ready for opportunities for young people, we show them what is possible. The principal reminded me that the last time I was here at 224, it was your first year. It was 2023. Superintendent at the time, the chancellor was Dr. David Banks, and this was a classroom. This is your classroom. And we were talking about the principal's vision, and I remember you said you were a principal in Brooklyn, and he was sent to the Bronx. And I said, oh, that's God's divine presence. Somebody brought you. I remember, and I said, I understood that 224 was not at its best, right? And the principal had a very, very difficult task with turning the school around. Because at that time, there were efforts to essentially close schools that were not performing well. And I remember being here with you and your partner at 343, the other school, and he said, I have a lot of vision. I have a blueprint and I have a plan. I just need to get it to the finish line, right? And the way it works in this system is everything is about metrics, about performance, about numbers, right? Realizing the children that are behind those numbers and the teachers and the educators. And 3 years later, I'm so proud of how far you have come to 224. And although I've not physically been here, the principal knows I've given you money for technology for the students, right? Because I love to support our kids. I love to make sure that there is money where my commitment is, and I will always make sure that I support you and your team. But when I think about this work here, I think about gaming, I think about esports, AI integration, I think about podcasting, photography, digital media, content creation, and learning opportunities that are led by students. I love that. Student-led learning is dope. And that's exactly what we are attempting to do in all parts of this borough. And so being here today at the Future Ready Lab, it means a lot. And I look forward to more partnerships and more work. And I also have to acknowledge, because we are all about creativity here in this borough. So the Bronx is the birthplace of hip-hop. Birthplace. Folks trying to take credit for what the Bronx started. August 11th, 1973. And because we understand the concept of hip-hop from the mechanism of education and the elements of hip-hop, we are opening the first ever hip-hop museum in the Bronx, and it is going to be a tourist destination for a global genre that we call hip-hop. And because we understand that it's not just about the rapper, but it's about the engineer, the writer, the producer, and all the elements of hip-hop, people came together, organizations like Windows of Hip-Hop, Grandmaster Kaz and Grandmaster Melly Mel, right, pioneers of hip-hop, and they said, we need a school. We need to create a Bronx high school of hip-hop, right? It's not a foreign idea. And the parents supported us. And we got it passed to the Panel for Educational Policy. And this September, the first ever Bronx high school for hip-hop is opening in the Bronx. That's a big deal. And I had to mention it because the founding inaugural principal is with us today. I want to recognize longtime educator, Jason Reyes. So I want to congratulate you again on Future Ready, on this incredible space. It looks good, it feels great, and I appreciate acknowledging that young people are showing up at 7 o'clock in the morning, because that shows that you're doing something that's attractive to them. It's exciting. It's about learning in a different way. I want all kids to have those possibilities. I don't want to have to deal with the violence of what we often see in the Bronx. And I want us to be the storytellers of this borough. The story of 224 and how 224 has emerged, right? We often say, started from the bottom, but now we're here. And look how far this amazing middle school has come because of all of you. The partners, the principal, the superintendent, the leaders, because you believe in our kids. Never stop believing in our kids. They are brilliant, they are creative, and they are destined for great success. And if it takes all of us to make sure they get to the finish line, then that's what we have to do. Because I am looking beyond middle school, beyond high school. I'm all the way to college right now with these 8th graders and 7th graders and 6th graders. Because we have to make sure that our young people know, no matter where you live, your block never blocks your blessing. Your zip code does not deny your destiny. It doesn't. But you can rep the Bronx and be successful, right? That's my message to all of us. Never stop believing in the potential of our babies, of our students and our scholars. So thank you so much, Principal. Congratulations, everyone, and let's keep working.
And one more word, and we'll begin the festivities. Padilla.
Yeah, I feel like I should stand behind a piece of equipment.
You
How's
can.
everybody doing today? Just to quickly add on to what you just heard from the one and only, the best VP in the city. But she hit it on the head. When 2023 rolled around and Uche reached out, he had stepped outside the DOE for a minute and then was coming back into the system. I knew that the kind of leader that 224 needed was someone who was really going to create conditions where students can actually lead. So you won't be surprised here if you come and you see students with equipment in their hands, or the best middle school podcast is, running their next show. And that's kind of what he's done, and the team here has done. It's just create conditions where students can actually lead. A lot of people pay lip service to that, and then there are certain schools that actually do it, and they do it every single day. All right? So just thank you for being here. Thank you for being in the South Bronx, and just keep looking out, because these sevens are doing some amazing things, and this is definitely good.
That was perfect, because right now we're about to separate to our demonstrations. If you have an orange dot on your name tag, please raise your hand. Yep, okay. Orange dots. Orange dots. Okay, so if you have an orange dot, or you're with someone with an orange dot, you're going to stay here. If you do not have an orange dot, actually I'm giving some people orange dots. Orange dot. Orange dot. Orange dot. Orange dot. Okay, now, if you, orange dot. Okay, so if I gave you an orange dot, or you have an orange dot, please stay here. If you do not have an orange dot, you're going to go with our Lacey, one of our seniors, downstairs to the studio for our student demonstrations. Please enjoy it, and then we're going to switch. Okay, so you will get to experience everything here, okay? So we're going to do that right now. Our students are going to start coming in as well, okay? So if you do not have an orange dot, please follow, and I didn't give you one. Please follow Miss Arlene downstairs to the studio.